Okay, so today I'm showing you the Tunisian crochet that I'm currently working on. It's a simple Tunisian crochet stitch. It is on a long, about a 10-inch long Tunisian crochet hook. You will see that with Tunisian crochet, it has a tendency to want to curl at the bottom or roll up onto itself, and that's primarily because we're working always on the front of the garment, always working back and forth, sort of like a typewriter. You can see the underside of the garment makes a nice design as well, but the primary focus is the forward-facing portion of the fabric. The hook looks like it has a knitting needle on one end. This is a 5.5 millimeter. There's a crochet hook on the other, and it's nice and long so that you can load up stitches. The yarn is a alpaca boucle and an intertwined cotton in navy and white. I thought the white would help show the vertical stitches rather than just using navy. And in Tunisian crochet, it's often good to use a hook that's larger than what's recommended for the yarn so that you can give a little bit of extra space between the stitches. So what we're going to do now is do what is considered like a return row to work the loops off the hook. And the first one is just a yarn over, pull through one, and then a yarn over, pull through two, and you do the yarn over, pull through two throughout the remaining stitches on the hook. And this is just the standard return row that lets us work the loops off the hook before we then go back in that same direction to build the hook back up with loops. And it's really the way in which you build the hook back up that gives you the different variety of stitches. So here we have these nice vertical stitches, you can see by the white yarn, and what we're going to do is use those vertical stitches to help build the hook back up with loops to continue with the pattern. So we don't use that first vertical loop that's right by my thumb because we already have a loop on the hook. So I'm using that second vertical stitch and just passing my crochet hook under that first vertical stitch and pulling up a loop. And I'm going to do that across the entire front row. And what this does is it puts the loops back on our hook so that we can then work back down the row again and continue with our pattern. So here we are, we're getting towards the end. We're again just going through the first vertical stitch that is obviously white and navy, but the white helps me see it a little bit better. And then when we get to the end, we want to use that last chain stitch at the very end to just sort of secure the row to the existing panel that we're creating. And so that was one complete Tunisian crochet row where we went back down the hook and then back up the hook. And a Tunisian row is 2 crocheted rows. Again, you can see where it's curling at the bottom row. There are ways to counteract that. Since I'm going to be adding a border to the item when it's complete, it will eventually straighten out on its own. You can also see what the back of the garment looks like. It has the horizontal lines rather than the vertical. If you want to try your hand at some Tunisian crochet, I have 2 free patterns for different headbands using 2 different types of Tunisian crochet stitches. And as always, you can see my other patterns in my bio. Thanks for watching.